Salut, c'est Jade Raymond et tu regardes Play sur Escape TV.
It's the Third Crusade in the year 1191. Your name is Altair, and you are an elite assassin whose objective is to slay the 9 historical figures who are propagating the crusade. Can you handle it? Do you want to know more? Let's find out.
I'll take you down! What are you doing?
I'm with Chris, who is a level designer for the video game, but he also used to be in a rock band. What do you do exactly in your job?
I analyzed the sort of how the city was being constructed, and then tried to recreate the same thing using our ingredients. For example, one of the hands-on we have here is with the city of Damascus, which is what I helped create.
So it's very realistic, actually. You have to be on the ball.
The idea that the game design or the game rules are based on real life. If someone tries to steal a purse and they start running down the street, all the crowd will sort of move away and look at that person. So we did the exact same thing in the game. So anything that when you see it happening, you should be able to go, okay, that's normal, I understand, because I've seen it in movies or in a crowd for myself.
Hi Jade, I'm Anita from Escape TV.
Hi Anita, nice to meet you.
So let's get cracking straight away. What makes Assassin's Creed a next gen?
What we really tried to do with Assassin's Creed is deliver new types of gameplay. So really use the processing power to give new situations, give the player more freedom, do things with crowd, do things with huge cities that you couldn't have done before. All missions can be approached from many different strategies. It really depends on how you like to play. So if you're the kind of person who likes an adrenaline-packed, like Codan the Barbarian, like all-out swords experience, you can do any mission that way. The other way that you can usually gain access is by using your acrobatic skills. So climbing up, we have this rule that anything that's 2 inches or more that's sticking out as an architectural detail, you can climb onto. Other strategies can include using the crowd. So there's areas in the city, people that you can help out. Usually if you help out scholars or guys who look like monks, they have access to most buildings because they're men of the cloth and they can get in.
Why do you say that? I see the way you train. You lack conviction and focus. You gossip and gamble. Rien à faire ici.
What era does the game take place in?
Assassin's Creed takes place during the Third Crusade. The precise year is 1191, and the reason we picked that year, there's a couple of reasons. One, the assassins, actually the word assassin, comes from this group of people that came to be around the Third Crusade. They were called the Hashashin, and we really wanted to recreate their story, and their story takes place during the Third Crusades. There's 3 huge cities that you'll explore. We've recreated the whole environment of northern Syria, including Jerusalem, Damascus, Acre. And then we worked with different historians. One guy who worked with Ridley Scott on Kingdom of Heaven, the same historian worked with us to review our script, to look at our art and kind of give us feedback about things we could tune to make it more realistic.
What do you think about the controversy people make over violence in video games?
Well, I think there's a lot of violence in a lot of media these days. I mean, you hear about it in music, you see it on TV, whether you're watching the news or watching, you know, an HBO show like, you know, Band of Brothers, or there's a million shows with violence, and the same thing with movies. I'm not surprised that it's also there in video games. The difference, though, with video games, I think people seem to be more sensitive to having violence in video games, and maybe it's the interactivity or the fact that it's something new that people don't view as an art form or an entertainment medium yet. You know, they view it as something separate, kind of like heavy metal was a long time ago, and you couldn't have certain lyrics. But I think it's something that exists all around us.
So let's talk about you, the producer of the video game, a woman. How did a nice girl like you end up being a video game producer? I mean, is there some hidden geek inside of you?
Well, I'm a big nerd, actually. I started out as a programmer in the video game industry, and I played games when I was a kid, and I actually always knew that I wanted to make video games. And I went to computer science in school, and I tried really hard to get as many internships in the game industry as possible, and I really pushed because I just loved games. To me, it's the most exciting kind of field you can be in.
What, in your opinion, makes a good video game?
I'm interested in video games that try and do something different. I'm not interested personally in, trying the newest clone of GTA or the newest clone of Halo, or, I'm really interested in games that are trying something for the first time, that give a new experience. And that doesn't matter really what kind of game it is. I mean, I tend to enjoy action games the most, just that's my personal taste. But, something like Katamari, which is this really creative, different game that came out a few years ago from a Japanese developer, and it's this huge ball that you roll around, and that was just a crazy idea, and it's a lot of fun. And Loco Roco is also a simple game but cute and different. Rock Band, now the fact that you can play drums and different instruments with your friends, I think that's really cool. And anytime that someone does something different and really pushes games in a new direction, that's what I think makes a good video game.
And so personally, you play mainly just action games? Is that it?
Yeah, I like fighting games the best, and I also like survival horror games and things that are adrenaline, action-packed.
And remember, there are many different ways to complete your mission, so be creative.